This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now today, my dear friends, I have a list for you. Games that I play solo that have been replaced by other games. Now, what does this mean? Okay, and listen, I'm going to tell you right up front. I'll maybe throw up a couple of pictures here, but I'm not going crazy with editing and having the little pictures here and the little numbers. Save that for the overproduced people. Okay, I'm gonna lay things out, and if you want to learn about a game, look it up at BGG and investigate these games. I think that's the best thing I can tell you to do, and I could just talk to you about certain things. Now, these are in no certain order, but I've been playing a lot of games, and they've replaced games for me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get rid of all these games, but what it does mean is that I'm finding that these games have been replaced. Now, I'm going to start, and it's in no particular order. And some of these aren't true solo games, but I'm able to play them solo. We're going to start with the first one, the old Avalon Wizard's Quest game. I used to love playing that by myself, but it's a very antiquated game. It has a very unique system, and I would play the different sides trying to do everything and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that game, and I still do to this day. It's just, I found something a little simpler and a little bit more fun, and I'm able to do it a little bit more on the solo side, even though it's a block game. And that's Columbia Games Wizard Kings. They have a couple scenarios that you can play solo, and I really, really enjoy the blocks. I enjoy the step down of everything, making it simple but making it complicated. And then you add the treasure and all the expansions to it, and it just has this variability that I really, really, really enjoy. Another game that has been replaced for me, and they're basically the same game, but this one just does it better, and it doesn't make me want to play any of the other ones. The other ones. Gloomhaven was the original, and I enjoyed Gloomhaven. A lot of people say it's not a true dungeon crawl. Yeah, I can see that because it has a lot of Euro mechanisms. And then came Jaws and all, Jaws, and there was another expansion on top of that. And they all did something special. But Frosthaven is such a cut above. And I really, really just am blown away by Frosthaven. I think Frosthaven is a great, great game, and I really do enjoy it. And, even though it's not my traditional dungeon crawl, that's okay. I can get by that and really enjoy that. The next one is from my boys over at Simon. Zombicide. I love Zombicide. I love Black Plague and everything like that. But their recent installment, Marvel Zombies, is just head and shoulders just superb. From the miniatures all the way to the gameplay. I really suggest it because it really gives you that weird feel. You could play it a couple different ways. I enjoy playing it solo. I think it's fantastic. I really do love that game, and it's kind of pushed Zombicide aside a bit. Matter of fact, I have the Rio de Janeiro expansion for Zombicide that I've got to open up, but I'm so busy messing around with zombies that I haven't had time. So I really feel that Marvel Zombies, and especially with all the Kickstarter stuff that's coming out soon, jackpot. Another game that has been replaced has been 4 Against Darkness. I don't know what happened there. I mean, I was playing it a lot, and I was playing this other game a lot too, But the recent developments in the game and how the game has progressed for D100 that replaces it really has stepped up and really stepped to the forefront for me. I think what Martin Knight has done is fantastic. It's not that I don't love For Against Darkness. It's just it almost seems like they kind of said, okay, we did enough, and kind of walked away from it a little bit. Not that I think they did. Andre has done such fantastic things. I'd like to see more for the science fiction version that they did, the Martian one, For Against Mars, which I thought was special, and not much has happened with that. But D100 has really stepped above and beyond. Golf Maker, I think that's the name of it because I forgot about it. I used to love playing that game, along with Golf APBA, and those were my go-to golf games. But now I've changed my feel on that. Even though it's a dexterity game, I have been playing the heck out of Table Golf Association. It feels like real golf. The tension's there. A bad shot, kind of puts you in a weird spot, and how you're going to do certain things, especially when you have to do your offhand or a thumb or things like that. It feels like golf. You wouldn't think a dexterity could feel like real golf, but this really knocks it out of the park. And I love playing Table Golf Association. If you haven't seen our tournament, make sure you go check it out. We're almost ready to crown a champion, and I've been having a blast with it. And I highly suggest you go over to Table Golf Association, check it out, or check out my videos, or somebody else's videos for that much. And you'll see everything that I feel about this tremendous game. Face to the Mat was my go-to wrestling game. It really was. But I never really, I got the feel for it, and it felt like wrestling, but it wasn't until Rumble Slam really has come out with some recent additions and more rules and stuff like that this game is really overtaken as far as my wrestling game. Even though it's a fantasy type of wrestling, there's just something about that ring, something about, when you finally put a move on, and the crowd reactions and all the other stuff that goes into it, that really just has this feel, and having it physically in front of you really just makes it one of the best wrestling games out there for sure. This next one, Stargrave. Stargrave I love, and they do have a solo supplement, and I loved playing that. But when I started playing Core Space, the first version and the second version, and they added more and more solo stuff to it, it really stuck and resonated. I love the figures. I love the chest where you don't know what's in there. Trying to fit certain things, sell certain things, scavenge. The terrain, which is absolutely beautiful, where Stargrave, you got to kind of create your own atmosphere, or play Stargrave in Core Space terrain. But I think Core Space is just a head above, and the things that they have done over there is just absolute. With their battle systems has just really just killed it, and they're doing a fantastic job, and I cannot wait. And I do mean I cannot wait for this fantasy version that they are putting out, which ought to be glorious. The last one I'm going to talk about is one where these two are really up there in my top solo games of all time, and that's Nemo's War. Nemo's War, I absolutely love it. I consider it one of the holy grails of solo games. But I've been finding that has been pushed aside. Even though it's totally different from this game, it's all the chapters, all the things that this game does, and I really consider this one of the greatest solo games ever made, and that is Final Girl. Final Girl, it just does everything right. It's smart. Everything that Van Ryder has done. Set a watch, which is great and fantastic. I haven't found anything to replace that, or Hoplomachus. I haven't found anything to replace that. But these two here, where I would consistently play Nemo's War all the time, I find myself gravitated more to Final Girl. So that's a little list there. I believe later in this week I'm going to do, right now, my top solo games so far this year. And it's just things from the past and everything. But as of this, pretty much almost the midway point of the year, where I am falling with my solo games. And I've got one more on the list that I forgot to even mention, which I feel horrible about. But another one that's replaced is Hoplomachus Remastered. I mentioned it, of course, but I didn't tell you that Rise of Rome, The Lost Cities, all fantastic games. This remastered version has just replaced all those games. Would I ever get rid of the other ones? Never. Never. I will. The one thing I will never ever get rid out of my collection till the day I die is anything from Chip Theory Games. Probably one of the best companies out there in the world, and I absolutely love this latest version of Hoplomachus. It kind of combines everything takes all the great things out of all three of the prior Hoplomachuses, and just really takes it to another level. And Victorium is another one that just stands out there, but that game stands on its own. It really does, and I think it's fantastic, and one of the greatest solo games I've ever played in my life. So there you guys have it, just a little feel of what's replaced what lately. And until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.